Hi, this is Jeanette, and welcome to The Bridge Within. I just wanted to let you know that I dropped a video today, and it's called Demons, Are They Real? And I know in the spirit world, there are a lot of people that don't believe in demons, and a lot of people who do. And in the end, I really don't think it matters what you believe. I think we can both agree that there is evil. There's evil people, there's evil spirits, and there's evil energy. And so to me, that's what is a demon. And so I talk about my experiences with that kind of energy and those kind of people and those kind of spirits. And I finished it Saturday and I had edited it that same night and was trying to upload it when all of a sudden my phone said it couldn't upload because there wasn't enough space. And it's funny because I had just checked it a few days ago and there was plenty of space. So I don't know what happened. But I thought it was odd that my phone decided to go crazy just as I was trying to upload this video on demons and where I identify them and try to give some tips that have helped me. And I know that demons do not like to be exposed. They like to work in the shadows because when you're working in the shadows, people don't notice so much that they're being influenced by demonic forces. So they don't like to be brought out into the light and exposed. They just hate it. And I feel like part of me, I feel like it was kind of a little attack. Of course, it could have just been Mercury retrograde and everything is just going off the charts, but my phone was really going crazy. I've never had a phone go crazy like that before. It was overheating, so off and on for 2 days, yeah, Saturday and Sunday. I had to no, sorry, Sunday and Monday. I had to keep putting it in the fridge to cool it down. And then it got to the point where it wouldn't let me make phone calls. I had to borrow someone else's phone, and then it would allow me to make phone calls. And then I try again, and it wouldn't allow me to make phone calls because it said my phone had been stolen and it wasn't where it belonged. It's funny because it was in my home next to me where it usually is. So it was really strange that that happened and no one reported it stolen. And then it became like a brick where I couldn't even use it. It wouldn't turn on. It was just a black screen. And then it became a black screen where this little white circle thing going around and nothing else. And that lasted forever. I tried to call Saturday, but by the time I realized anything was wrong with my phone, you know, the Apple customer service wasn't available to me. So I had to wait until Sunday morning and I was on the phone with them off and on all throughout the day. In fact, you usually have to go through an AI to get any help. And I think the last time I went through the AI, I asked what was going on, and so I told the AI agent what was going on with my phone, and it became very concerned and told me to call 911. And I think I can't help to think that's funny and wonder if it was one computer feeling very sorry for another computer that was having problems. I know that's probably my imagination, but I thought that was very funny. The Apple customer service is great, but they were not able to help me remotely. So they had to make an arrangement for me to come in on Monday. And so I spent several hours getting help from a computer tech and they fixed my phone. I really thought I was going to have to get a new phone. I really thought this phone was a goner, but they just did a hard reset and it's working again. Of course, it's a little glitchy, but that could just be Mercury retrograde. Who knows? Or maybe the phone is going to glitch out again. I hope not. Anyway, it kind of reminded me of a time when a friend and I were coming home from an intuitive fair. We were in Tacoma going past a casino, and it was like on the off ramp. We had just gotten off the highway and we were waiting to cross through an intersection so we could get home. And it was pretty backed up. So it was like a 3 or 4 or 5 light cycle. And I noticed there was this man. He looked like he was on horse tranquilizers. I think that's the drug that makes people walk like zombies, where they fall asleep standing up and or they move. It really looks like The Walking Dead. And this man was doing that, and I wasn't looking right at him. I know not to do that because you never know, you know, if someone's going to get upset if they catch you looking at them. So I just looked off the side, and I was wearing dark glasses. So there was really no way he could tell that I was looking at him, and he was so out of it. He didn't even know I was there. He wasn't even aware of his surroundings. So I looked at him, you know, sideways, and I noticed that he still had a lot of beauty in him, outer beauty, and he looked like he was pretty fresh on the streets. And I felt bad for him. And I felt like, he had, if he was to be able to clean himself up, he could have a long life ahead of him. So I started to pray, and I didn't bow my head or close my eyes or anything. No one knew, not even the person I was with knew I was praying for this man, because it was really heartbreaking. He looked young, and he looked like someone that had been loved his whole life. And unfortunately, he got caught up in these drugs, and these people don't deserve it. When they take these drugs, they honestly don't realize what they're signing up for. I think sometimes it could be just an injury and they get hooked on the drugs that the doctor gives them. And then before they know it, those are ripped away and they're stuck doing street drugs. And, I've suffered with migraines my whole life. I know how horrible pain is and how you will do almost anything to escape it. And so, anyways, I'm praying for this man, and all of a sudden, he becomes a little lively and starts to wake up and becomes very angry and agitated. And he continued to become angrier and agitated as the time went on, to the point where he came to my car and started beating on the windows and tried to open the door. Thank goodness I had all of my car doors locked and my windows were rolled up, because he was trying to get in and he was angry. Then he started kicking my car, kicking the tires, kicking the side of the car, hitting it. It was just really very frightening. And he couldn't get in, and that made him mad. So he went to off the pavement where there's rocks and started getting rocks and throwing them at my car, trying to break the window. And he went and got one that was like this big, and he threw it, came fairly close, threw it at my car. He was aiming for the windshield. Thank goodness he did not hit the windshield. He said he hit the roof of the car, and that, of course, upset him. So he went and got more rocks, and he was about ready to come pound on them. And then I noticed he paused and he started to look at this other man that was like in a zombie like state, but a little more alert than the other guy was. And then they were looking at each other, and it was weird because it was almost like they were communicating telepathically. I've never seen that before. I've never seen anything like that. It was the strangest thing. And then that man started to come over, and it was so scary because we have this crazy, angry guy on this side, and then we have this other guy on this side that's coming over. And just as he was approaching the car, our light changed and it was our turn to go through the intersection. Thank goodness we got through that. But it just reminded me, the phone going crazy kind of reminded me of when this man, who I think is possessed, this I think this demon seen this fresh young vessel that it could use, and likes drugs, and he was angry that I was calling in the light to try to free this, to ask God to free this man. and he is not willing at all to let his slave quit drugs, and he was very angry at me for trying to free this vessel that he was using, this human being that doesn't deserve being tortured like he is. Anyway, it kind of just, my phone just reminded me of that. I just felt like my phone was a little possessed, and I just thought it was funny. I just really weird that it happened when I was doing a video on demons. Anyways, I'd love your thoughts. And I am going to do a video on how to protect ourselves. I know this world is very negative and we will never fully escape that negativity, but there are things we can do to make it so they can't harm us as much, or approach us as often. And there are things we can do to make the effects not so lasting, because it is traumatic when you encounter all that negative energy, and it does take time to heal from it. Anyway, so if you have any experiences where you have been helped, you have found something that helps you, and when you encounter this negative energy, or to prevent encountering this negative energy, I would love it if you could put it into the comment section. And that way, hopefully when I do my video on protection, I can use some of that. If not, if you comment after I've done the protection video, maybe it'll inspire another one, or maybe someone else will read that comment, and they can get the help they need because of you. Because honestly, the only way this world's going to get better is through you. People like us, people who try to anchor in the light and just brighten the world. And it's a hard job, but I guess that's what we signed up for. And so let's work together and let's help each other and support each other. That's what I want for this channel, and that's what I want for myself, and that's what I want for you. Anyways, I hope you have a good night, and remember to say your prayers before you go to sleep for protection, because when we're asleep, we are wide open. Anyways, you have a good night and sweet dreams. Bye.